title vacated by the Italian Vincenzo Belcastro. Now there is Duke McKenzie looking to carve out a new career at bantamweight, and here's Jacob, the 25-year-old Frenchman. Big advantage for him being here in his hometown of Calais. A record of 33 wins and 3 defeats for Jacob, who's had a couple of world title failures in the past, so he too is looking to get his career back on the rails at the very top level. Both of the fighters in a kind of similar vein as far as that's concerned. Jacob, formerly regarded as a red-hot prospect, but hasn't been able to claim one of the, 4 versions of the world title available. And there's McKenzie, who lost his flyweight crown to Dave McCauley a couple of years ago. Away they go then, 12 rounds of boxing for the European bantamweight crown at 8 stone 6 pounds. McKenzie trying that right early on there, and he's a neat boxer, Duke McKenzie, the one in the green shorts, just to remind you. And if you're in any doubt, he's got the word Duke there emblazoned for you right across the waistband. McKenzie's record, 23 wins and 1 defeat. And about half of those wins have come by knockout. But he's a pretty good technician. McKenzie, though, had big weight-making problems at flyweight, and that's what I think did for him really at the end. He says he's a lot more comfortable up at bantam. The problem is, of course, has he carried the punch power with him in the move up? Often a problem for the little men. A lot of them punches are missing in this opening round. Neither of them really found their timing so far. Quiet round. Both look very tentative, cautious, just try to feel the other man out a little. McKenzie's been consistently out of range with his jab, and he may be suffering from a little bit of ring rust as well, because he's been out of the ring since November last year. That is a long gap. Too long. Not quite sure of the reason for that either. But there have been periods of inactivity in McKenzie's career right from the word go, particularly early on. Jacob, you can see, a southpaw leading with the right. That's better work by McKenzie towards the end of the round, the first really meaningful action of the whole contest. A couple of decent little digs in there from Duke McKenzie in the green shorts. Jacob's on a win streak of 7, but he hasn't really beaten any opponents of too much consequence in that winning streak since his last world title attempt. That was against Jose Sanabria of Venezuela for the super bantamweight title. Cries of "Come on, Terry," in French, of course, from the Calais supporters. He really sold the tickets here. In this opening round, Jacob hasn't done too much. If anything, McKenzie just shading it for my money at the moment. That's a good jab from him too. There goes the bell to end the first round. 2 experienced fighters, of course. They'll know that they've got to pace this. So there's Thierry Jacob, 18 knockouts in his 33 wins. He's got the reputation as a man who can both box and trade punches ferociously if the need arises. Good amateur he was as well, a silver at the World Amateur Championships in 1983, bearing testimony to that, and 4 times the French amateur champion. Look back at some of the action from that first round. You can see that McKenzie not really getting the timing into those shots. That was a reasonable little uppercut in there, but not really finding the leverage and the range quite right, if I'm honest. Jacob didn't do too much in that opening round. But you can't underestimate the importance of home advantage in these European title fights. One gone, 11 to go. If it goes the distance, of course. McKenzie's been a European champion before at flyweight, for 2.5 years in fact. He won that title by stopping another world champion in Charlie Magri in 5 rounds. That was in the end of Magri's career. He was definitely on the downslope then, but it was a good win by McKenzie on his way to becoming the world champion. He took the title against Rolando Bohol, knocking him out in the 11th round. Everything looked rosy around that time. Defended it once before losing it to McCauley. So this, as they say, is a whole new ball game. Now Jacob starting to get a little more aggressive in this second round, starting to get home with that southpaw jab occasionally. Still, McKenzie struggling really to find the timing for his punches. Made to miss a lot. Think of blood around there by the head of Jacob, and I'm wondering where that's coming from exactly. He's either cut there by the head, maybe there's been a clash of heads. They did get very close together with some of the inside work. There's certainly some blood around there somewhere. Which is if it's on the side of the head of Thierry Jacob. Good jab that from Jacob. Quite well behind that subtle jab, and then the head's coming close together, and that's opened up a cut, and the Frenchmen are not at all happy about that. They think that may well have been a butt by McKenzie, but he seems to be quite encouraged by developments and gets in with a couple of decent shots of his own there, McKenzie, finding the timing at last, and those heads coming perilously close together again there. Well, drama in the second round. Jacob cut around the head. He looks to have one cut on the side of his head and one underneath that left eye. And again, those heads. Jacob, you can see him turning away there in the clinch, trying to keep the cut away from McKenzie's head. That's a good punch again by Jacob. Well, it's already becoming pretty rough, tough and grueling, and that doesn't look a very pleasant cut. It's by the side of the eye. The blood won't run into the eye, and now McKenzie gets a warning for dangerous head work from the referee. So 2 more jabs there from Jacob at the end of the round. Quite a dramatic little round. Let's have a look and see if we can see what caused that cut again. There you can see the heads coming together. That's what did it. Those two, oh, and again there. And there's no doubt, I think, that clash of heads opened up the cut. And there is an argument for saying that it might have been pretty dangerous use of the head by Duke McKenzie. Now they've done a little bit of patch-up work there. The cut, as you can see, to the side of Jacob's left eye. Nothing too serious at the moment, but he has been cut before in his career. He's had his problems with cuts.